Alrighty, everybody. Welcome to a Tuesday edition of the Burn It Down podcast. I'm your host, Ricky Allen Jr. With me is my co-host, as always, Mr. Ross, the Boss Tatum, looking fly as ever. Ross, how you doing this evening?
Well, Ricky, I'm doing pretty good. You like how I called you Ricky right there?
Yeah,
Well,
gotta,
but yeah, I'm doing good. I picked a bad day to lessen my caffeine consumption because last night was a late night and I am struggling right now after that late race last night. How about you? Oh, Ghost Energy. Look at us. That could be a
we need a
future sponsor.
sponsorship. Can we get an ad on here, Ross? We yeah, I'm dragging today, brother. I have not had a whole lot of caffeine today. I had a full work day today, and it's been just a bang bang day. So, um, I got a Ghost Energy to inject some life in me, so we can talk about all this crazy racing action over the weekend. Man, it was a late one last night.
Was a late one. It was a good one. I mean, I was glad I stayed up. I wasn't super happy that Denny won it. I was looking forward to Bell winning it. But hey, it made our Betcast episode look pretty good because that was
That's
our
right.
number one pick, both of us. So
we are rolling on that thing. We will.
yeah, I think I hit 3 for 5. You hit 3 for 5 as well, I
think.
believe.
Yep. Same thing.
So we did pretty good. I was pretty
We'll
happy
have to
about
do like
that.
a little side thing, like keeping track of how many we hit or whatever would be kind of cool as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Have a little credibility to our names. Ross, it was a great weekend of racing. We'll start Friday night. The trucks were back into action. If I'm not mistaken, I think all three series got rained out again for qualifying. Am I right in saying that?
I think you're right, and I think all three series got the race start pushed back.
Yeah.
Did they not? Yeah.
Got what'd you say?
I want to say all three got the race time pushed back because of rain.
Oh, maybe
Didn't know,
so, actually. Yeah, the Trotz was late for sure.
and
Um,
ORAPS I want to say was late too. I want to say it was about
it may have been. Yeah, crazy. We are battling the weather, but we somehow got through all three races. Let's touch on the truck and O-Wraps. We won't spend too long because there's so much to cover with Cup, and there's a couple different segments I want to introduce this week and get some of your thoughts on it, Ross. But Lane Riggs wins back to back, his third win of the season, I believe.
Yep.
Um, Ross, straight up, is Lane Riggs the one to beat for trucks this year for championship?
Hey, it's looking like it because all of a sudden they are fast and untouchable. Lane mentioned before the Charlotte race, and I should have picked up on it when we were making picks and stuff, but he said we brought 2 new trucks here and we're bringing one to Nashville, and I should have picked up on that because when FRM brings new trucks out, they tend to be pretty fast. I don't know who they got turning wrenches over there, but they can find speed, and he was unreal. Chandler was good too, but Lane was just on another
Mm-hmm.
level.
I agree with you. I have fully jumped ship on the Caden Honeycutt bet. Not that it matters because my big fat parlay unfortunately came to an end this weekend. We re-wrapped them, and I now have Lane Riggs as my truck champion. So that's, I don't know, could be a perfect definition of Monday morning reactions, but I don't know, man. I like the confidence he's got. And Caden, it's not going to be a pushover. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a runaway. I think these two guys are going to duke it out. And I still think it could go either way, but I'm definitely like 60-40, probably Lane Riggs now. I like the guy too. He's very passionate. There's a lot of passion in the truck series and the lower levels right now, which I appreciate. I enjoy seeing some of that emotion. I think, guys get so caught up in, trying to get to Sundays, and I feel like sometimes they forget to enjoy where they're at, and just competing and winning races. And I feel like a lot of those guys, particularly Lane, just he doesn't hide his emotions. I enjoy seeing guys kind of wear that on their sleeve, and he did a great job. And holy cow, he had to earn it too, man. I mean, he was He was fast, but I don't know if they just put on a bad set of tires or what the deal was, but he had fallen really deep in the field and came and put tires on that last caution. And um, Raja looked like he was going to maybe steal it and go back to back, and Lane ran him down and passed him at the last moment and did a great job. I mean, it was clean, really good racing between the two.
Yeah, I want to say Lane came from what 10th to first in the
At
last
least it might have been,
15 laps, 10,
yeah.
15 laps.
Hmm.
Just an incredible drive by Lane, and props to Raja. He raced them hard, but didn't wreck
Yep.
them both. He did a really good job of not creating be a huge wreck right there because it was close to being a big one. And thank God they didn't let Chandler win because I can't stand that dude, obviously from last week.
No,
But
you really?
yeah, yeah, definitely me. Hey, I want to ask you a question about Caden. Do you think he might have hurt himself by getting in that 11 truck? I know the truck's great,
Mm.
but do you think he's kind of hurt himself by getting in a truck that won so much last year? And I mean, he's doing great. Don't get me wrong. Running top 5, running top 3, leading laps, but he's not winning. Do we think he might have hurt his stock a little bit doing this?
You know, it's a really good question, Ross, because I remember having this conversation back at the racetrack back when I was in the industry and talking to Spencer and different guys. And it's funny, you don't really think of it from this perspective. Everyone always thinks of like you want to get in the fast cars, right, and win races and be in the fastest stuff. But to your point, it can actually really negatively work against you if you get in that top tier equipment and you don't show results. Um, I do think it's too early to worry about that at the moment. It is his first season with the team and everything, and I still believe that results are going to come. He's been close. He's been really close, and there's just been heck, honestly, if let's not forget he was running down the two guys in front of him when he had some sort of electrical issue and the truck cut off.
Mhm.
And if that race, goes green, we might be talking about Caden Honeycutt winning that race because at that point, Lane was so buried in the pack, and it just who knows how it would have played out because Caden was actually the one that brought that caution out. So I don't think it's any. I'll say no at the moment. I don't think it has hurt his stock, but it's certainly something to keep an eye on because if we go deeper and deeper into the season, and Lane just starts running away with it a little bit, or we see multiple mistakes from Caden, then it starts kind of turning that clock a little bit because yeah, if you're in top tier equipment, you're expected to win, especially what we see what that truck and what that team could do with Corey Heim. And don't get me wrong, Corey Heim is a special talent. We'll talk about that a little bit later, where he officially got his ride for
Mhm.
2311 that season. But yeah, I know that's kind of a long-winded answer. So as of right now, no, I don't think it has hurt his stock, but he needs to start winning, throughout the season.
I mean, he's been really close. I want to say he should have won 3 or 4 races. You gotta remember the Rockingham race with him and Heim, where
Mhm.
Heim kind of fell off there at the end. It looked like Caden was going to get him, and then
Yep.
I want to say the race before that was kind of the same deal. So it's not like he's running bad. I mean, he's running good. I just can't imagine the pressure that he feels being in that truck taking over for a guy that's just dominated the series for 2 seasons in a row. And hey, that man's showing up again this weekend, so he's probably going to stick it to him again. So
Well, and Heim
yeah.
certainly didn't do him any favors. I mean, that's a tough act to follow and big shoes to fill. So, I think I've talked about it a little bit with like rookie expectations in previous episodes with like Carson Quaffle. And it's like, if you look at it from one perspective, he's not doing a bad job, right? But these guys like Zillage and Heim and other guys that have come in and just, kind of rewrote the book a little bit, fair, unfair, you kind of get compared to them, right? And
Mhm.
that equipment. So, yeah, I think he's okay right now. I mean, he's still second in points. That did take a hit though. He finished multiple laps down with that electrical issue. You go from potentially winning the race to now And having Lane, I mean, that's a really big swing if you think about it. Lane's running 10th. Honeycutt could have won the race, and now all of a sudden Lane wins the race, and then Honeycutt finishes like 20 something, 3 laps down. That's a massive swing in points. So
Mhm.
Lane Riggs goes to the point now and is up 37. So it's gonna be fun to keep an eye on this as we're kind of switching into the second half of the regular season now.
Yeah, it should be really interesting. I think it's going to be a close battle throughout the season. Lane is really fast, but he is prone to mistakes, so he
Yep.
is prone to
And
wreck
qualifying
out
has
here and
been
there.
has been an issue as well. And so with these kind of reset with the metric, I think that's really helped guys like Lane and some other guys too. So, yeah,
Hmm.
need to see a little better qualifying, a little less mistakes, but gotta give it to him. He's capitalized the last couple weeks.
Absolutely. Hey, I'm going to shout out one guy real quick before we move on.
Do it.
Derek Limke in the 22 truck
Yeah, agreed.
finished top 20, finished
Toast.
21st, lead lap.
Yep.
In a terrible truck, absolutely awful truck. You know, obviously we know what happened with his wife, Natalie. Uh, and I'm not trying to glaze her. I mean, I would, but you know, I mean, uh, just a great run by him, finishing lead lap in 21st. So I just wanted to shout him out.
And can I say this just, I mean, truly, genuinely, is it was good to see Natalie at the track kind of in that role and being the cheerleader and being the wife and the mom. I mean, she just looked better and happier in that position. Like, I just feel like she's had so much stress recently, and clearly she had some mental stuff going on. So it's good to see her at the track still, but kind of in that role. And to your point, Derek did a fantastic job. So maybe she'll get back in at some point, maybe not. Maybe she'll just stick with ORAPs. But it was good to see their family there, and then Derek just did a great job in that truck.
Yeah, I'm glad we hit the family piece in this episode. That's
Yeah,
good of
that's
us.
what we
Yep.
tried to do. So that was Friday night, which led into our ORAPS race on Saturday. And Ross, this was another great race. I mean, I thought all three races were really exciting this weekend. Um, Justin Allgaier wins it and extends his point lead to infinity. Go ahead and stamp that regular season championship on him. And guess what? The books must be listening to us because this week was the first time his odds started going down for the championship. He's been plus 300 or more forever, and I think they've got him down to like plus 250 now. So if you're listening, guys, it's free money. I'm telling you, put some money on Justin Allgaier for the championship. I don't see anyone that's going to challenge him. Now, in that same respect, I've got to give a shout out to a couple guys in this race. Jesse Love looked really good. Again,
Mhm.
the metric helped him out. Started up front, led the whole opening stage. Battled Justin Allgaier throughout stage 2. And then I was going back to do a little research to see exactly what happened. And from what I could tell, it was a right rear spacer that needed to be added. So something with the lugs not being able to be tightened all the way. And he was literally leading the race in the final stage and had to come down with like I think it was like between 60 and 80 to go, and
Mhm.
he did a good job and recovered to like 16th, I think. But um, man, disappointing what could have been for Jesse Love.
Yeah, he had a really good speed. He was the only guy that could even compete with Algar. And
I
Brent
agree.
Cruz. Let's not forget Brent Cruz as
Yep, that was
well.
gonna be my second guy I shouted out.
Yeah, Brent. I hate to say this, but I don't know how you give up a 5-second lead on an intermediate track, like he did there at the end. So that was a little surprising. I thought he had it in the bag when he went into those pit stops with the 5-second lead because he was gaining time on Algar every lap. And
Yep,
after the pit stops, man, Algar just was fast. I don't know how else to describe it. He was just fast, ran him down, passed him like it
yep.
was nothing, and that was it. But it was like you said, it was a really good race. I enjoyed all the racing this weekend, but I really enjoyed this race.
Ross, we have the return of one Cleetus McFarlane. Cleetus made another start here in ORAPS. We talked about this a little earlier in the week where he was obviously denied for Talladega, but then he can come back to Nashville. The results don't really show it, but at least in my opinion, I thought he improved quite a bit from Rockingham.
Mhm.
Um, it was really fun watching him wheel that thing at the end of stage one. And I know NASCAR had like the live cam on him and everything, but Jesse Love, man, he was being more than nice to him. He was really backing it up and doing everything he could to help his teammate out, try to stay on the lead lap. And I don't know. I feel like he maybe just freaked out a little bit. Jesse was obviously going to give him the spot, and ends up pretty much looping it right, coming to the end of the stage and went a lap down. And then he spun later on too. I think coming to pit road or something. So the results don't show it, but I think overall, I think he was like 24th or 25th in practice, as well. Which obviously it's an RCR car, but what'd you think of Cleetus's run?
I don't think they could have picked any two harder tracks for him to have his first two wrap starts at. I mean, Rockinham's tough and Nashville's tough too. And I thought he did a good job. He wasn't the story, which is what he needed to do. He needed to stay off the TV. Obviously, he did loop it that time, and he was a little sketchy in front of Jesse there for a few laps. But I think he did a good job. I mean, he didn't do any worse than I've seen a lot of other people do. So I don't know. Props to him. I think he's earned that start at Talladega in the. Can he do it in the fall? Maybe Daytona. I don't know where he's going to go, but I think he's good for the sport. I wish they
Oh
would just
yeah,
let him. I wish they would just let him. I mean, they're already putting their YouTube camera on him during the race, so they want that exposure. They're freely taking NASCAR's freely taking that exposure from them. So hell,
yeah,
just let them race. Let
and
them
I
run
think
damn Daytona.
and I think there's a difference. Like I don't think he's dangerous in the sense like I'm more concerned about the guys that don't know where they're at. You know what I'm saying? Like you've already mentioned, his goal is to not be the story. He wants to just get some seat time, stay out of the way. I'm more worried about the guys that like think they can run up front and they're gonna
Mhm.
push it and do stupid stuff. So yeah, I would like to see more races for Cletus. I hope we get a couple more before the season's over because it's he's just a fun personality, fun to keep up with.
Well, he can't be any more dangerous than some of these guys at a restrictor plate race. I mean, we see, I mean, some of our best drivers, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, they cause huge wrecks every super speedway race. So, I mean, how much worse could it be? I mean, let's face it, the cars are pretty safe. I mean, let's hope he can't hurt someone too bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't see the harm in it. I mean, he could tear up a bunch of equipment, but hell, they tear up a bunch of equipment anyway. So who cares?
Yep. Yep. I'm with you. So, well, Justin Allgaier wins, man. Doesn't look like anything's stopping that train right now. But shout out to Brent Cruz. I think Toyota's got themselves a couple young stars coming through the pipeline. So I think he's one of them. Obviously, Corey Heim. I guess we'll start with some of the off track stuff before we transition to Cup. But Corey Heim finally inks full time deal with 2311 for 2027, which presumably we're saying that Riley Herbst is probably out. You like seeing Corey Heim full time racing?
Love it. I do. Corey definitely deserves to be there. I feel like this has been the worst kept. I mean, even when Riley Herbst and the family bought that charter for 2311, we knew where this was leading in 2 years. You'd heard from the beginning that it was going to be a 2-year deal and then they were going to evaluate. Well, that just meant they were just going to put Corey in the car. So,
Yep.
Riley will take that money to another team. Sounds like Legacy. So that'll be interesting. But I'm really happy for Corey. He deserves a chance. Anytime he's in the Cup Series, he has caused a couple wrecks, but he belongs there. He runs top 20, and when he gets more experience, he'll run even better. I think he's going to be a really good signing for 2311.
I agree. I think, and then you've got, Tyler Reddick to lean on. I was going to say Bubba, but Bubba's had his own struggles recently. But I really think Tyler Reddick has the opportunity to kind of take Corey Heim under his wing a little bit, and that could be dangerous. I know I was talking to some other of our buddies this weekend, and even Zach was saying like, I can't remember a hotter prospect than Corey Heim in recent time. So we'll see how his career unfolds.
Yeah, I'm actually interested. I mean, it's a dumb question, but I'm interested to see who runs better next year. Corey Heim or Bubba Wallace, because sometimes Bubba's hot and sometimes he's not. And right now he is not, and he's terrible. And I just wonder if Corey can be more consistent and give him a little bit better of a second car each and every week.
Yep. Yep. Well, let's transition. Ross, I know you were not a fan of the Sunday night race. I went over to my parents' house again to watch with my dad, and my dad said the same thing. He's like, "Why are we having a Sunday night race?" And I jokingly said, "Well, we just did it last week, so what's two in a row?" And I knew it as soon as pre-race. You could see the clouds in the background, and then here come the umbrellas out. Another rain delay start. I think we actually finally got going about a quarter till 9 or so. So it wasn't too terrible of a delay, but it feels worse than I guess it actually is when you're used to our 3 o'clock start times, and then you wait an extra 4 hours, and then you got to wait another hour and a half. It just kind of felt like forever for this race to start.
Yeah, absolutely. I felt like I was just waiting all day for it to start. Even at 5:40, I'm like, dang, we still got an hour and a half till the start. And I think I messaged you earlier in the day, and I was like, this is ridiculous. And if it rains, I'm going to be super pissed. Well, I didn't even look at the forecast. I had no clue that the forecast was even calling for rain. I was just making a statement. So when I turned on the TV and I saw it raining on, I think it was Michael McDowell's shoulder, I was like, son of a bitch. Like, really? Because I had to be up at 6 this morning, 5 this morning. So I was like, man, this sucks. So yeah, it was a tough 4 hours of sleep, no hardly any caffeine. It's been a struggle today, but
We're here.
I mean,
We're here though.
we're here, and I do want to shout out Prime. Their coverage was fantastic. So
Absolutely.
it's like I can take this later start when you get such awesome coverage.
Absolutely. And I think something that maybe has not been overstated, but I really love the pre and post race as well. That was just such a big deal going back to, the early days that I enjoyed watching NASCAR, and it's like you just want to consume as much um content as you can, right? Because the on track action, we wait all week for this on track action, and then you got to start the clock all over again, right? So it's cool now that there's so many different podcasts that you can listen to, different perspectives, but I think it goes a long way just that to have the extra pre-race and the extra post-race. I love the post-race show too. It was so late and I knew I needed to go to bed, but I was like, I want to watch the post-race show. I want to see the beer toast. And, I was jokingly saying to Zach though, when they brought poor Christopher Bell up there, I mean, he hadn't even been out of the car for 6 minutes. And I said, man, can you imagine losing the race in the fashion that you did? Then you got to go sit on top of a panel and break down how you lost the race and talk to Corey LaJoy. I mean, that would just ruin the rest of my night.
See, I didn't even go back and watch that. I really need to go back and watch that because everything I saw on Reddit said it was like pretty rough. Like he was being really smart and
It's
kind of
just
being an
cringy.
asshole to Mark Martin. Yeah, I mean it would be tough. I mean, I know
No,
how
he
I
was
am
just
when I
being
lose an
hard on.
iRacing
Yeah.
race.
No, see, Bell was just being hard on himself because I think Mark was just trying to say, like, dude, you did a great job, and it was like circumstances that kept you from not winning. And I think he was alluding to like the caution coming out where Bell had it in the bag, and Christopher quickly corrected him. He's like, no, Mark, it wasn't circumstance. Like, I just didn't win. And
Oh God,
so he was being hard on himself. But let's talk a little bit about there's a lot to jump into, so hopefully I'll try to keep us on track here a little bit. But Ross, before the race even started, Denny Hamlin jumps the start by 10 car lengths. My dad and I were debating this. My dad thinks he did it on purpose. And I'm thinking, why would you do it on purpose? And then I don't know if you saw this buzzing around on X, but apparently Dale Jr. had made a comment to him about, what would it take for you to basically start the race and last? And Denny said double the purse. So little NASCAR conspiracy here. Is there any thought at all that Denny Hamlin could have done this on purpose and had some sort of side bets going on, or is it just antsy and ready to go? What are your thoughts?
super weird situation because they said that was his first restart violation in his whole career. You're talking about 20 some
And
years
he's
of
dead
racing.
silent on the radio, by the way. Let me add that. As soon as that happened, didn't say a word.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get in the conspiracy lane, but it does sound like it's possible he did it on purpose. I just, man, that's a hard track to pass and get back to the front on. That'd
Right?
be a tough track to do it. There's other tracks I could see him doing it at. That's probably not one of them. But I do wonder, someone brought up something like, did the flag man start waving the flag early or something? And maybe that's why he jumped? I don't
I
know.
don't
It
know.
just made no sense.
I mean, it was like way early too. Like it wasn't
Hmm.
like I remember a couple years ago. I think it was him and Martin Truex at Richmond, and I think Denny jumped the start there, and they didn't catch it. But it was like a car length or two. Like this was way ahead of the bots. I mean, because at initial, look, I'm not really paying attention, and I'm just like, man, Denny got a huge jump. Like I was like, was the second place guy just sleeping or what? And then I joked with my dad and I said, wouldn't it be funny if they posted him for jumping the start? And no sooner had the words come out of my mouth, they were saying that they were giving him the black flag. So I don't know. It's odd. Now I will go back and think about, his podcast after he won Dover. And I think somebody asked him, would you rather have won the $1 million or would you have rather taken the points and the win for the record books? And he said points and record books. So that's why I'm like, I don't think he did it on purpose. Cause like you said, I mean, I just feel like that would be a mountain to try to overcome. And he honestly didn't have the best car either.
Yeah, yeah, and I wanna say, like, running in the back half the race hurts your metric for qualifying the next week too, so it wouldn't be
Mm.
advantageous to give up positions. So,
Well, not to mention stage points either, right? Like,
stage point, especially this year, I mean, it's such a
yeah.
big deal.
Mhm.
Uh, I don't know, I just think he had a big old brain fart, honestly. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. It was
Yeah.
interesting, and, I mean, there for a while, it didn't look like he was coming up to the front, but I just had so much trust in his pit crew and his car.
Oh, yeah.
I knew he'd get back up to the front. I just didn't know when.
Yeah. Another huge shout out and our good friend and former podcast teammate will appreciate this. SVG, man, on the ovals the last 2 weeks. And I said this in our Discord chat and I stand by it. And I'm not discrediting what he's done, but I think it just goes to show how freaking number one terrible this car is because you can't pass at all. And if you have any kind of speed or you're close, I feel like you can maintain pretty well. So the metric has helped SVG the last 2 weeks. Now, with all that being said, he did have to run 559 and a half miles at Charlotte and still be in
Mhm.
position. He did still have to run, what was it, 400 miles this race.
Yep.
So I'm not discrediting and I truly do believe he's gotten better. It was really fun seeing him battle Larson for the lead. Um, but SVG a top 5 and all of a sudden, let me pull this up and make sure I don't butcher this. But if I am remembering correctly, oh, it's not going to show it on the NASCAR app because it counts down. But he's like plus 40 some points to the cut line right now. That's a really healthy position to be in when we still have got 2 road courses before playoffs or chase, whatever you want to call it.
I mean, I think you could go ahead and pencil in now that after, as long as nothing goes crazy the next 2 weeks, I mean, we've seen speed from him. Usually the speed translates between mile and a half. I mean, and he'll have a good start next week at Michigan. And
Mhm.
obviously, I think Pocono would probably suit his style pretty well. So I think he'll be okay there. But then we go to 2 road courses, and he's going to,
Mhm.
definitely at St. Pete, he's going to dominate. I mean, or not St. Pete, Coronado or
San
wherever the Air
Diego.
Force
Yeah.
Base, San Diego.
Yep.
He's gonna he's gonna dominate that race. I
Yeah.
mean, let's just call it what it is, unless something
Yep.
goes wrong. And so, yeah, I think he's in a really safe position. I think he could leave those 2 road courses probably plus 100. I mean,
Yep.
honestly.
I'm
I
with
mean,
you. I
it's very
agree.
possible, especially if he gets stage points, and he gets the win. I mean, you're talking about 75 points right there. So, I mean,
I
we're
mean,
looking like
listen to
looking.
some of these upcoming tracks, Ross. So you've already
Mhm.
alluded to Michigan and Pocono, which I think arguably both of those could turn into fuel races. Definitely Pocono, but possibly Michigan. And it's such a big, wide open track too. Obviously the 2 road courses, and then you got Chicagoland, so mile and a half, which she's been looking really good on mile and a halfs lately. You got Echo Park, Atlanta, which is a super speedway
Oh yeah.
hybrid, so
Mm-hmm.
anything could happen there. You got North Wilkesboro short track, Indy, which again, another potential fuel race. Um, I just I feel like, and then you still got Daytona, like, and then a couple short tracks. So I think all you got to do is kind of go par for the course. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
hit home runs at the road courses, and then just don't have any big blow up races or DNFs. I mean, if you can just run top 20, stay out of trouble, maybe get some stage points here and there, I think he's in a really safe spot.
Yeah, he's setting himself up for a really good to actually make the chase right here. So I mean,
Mhm.
props to him. I mean, he's doing really good. We're seeing I want to say that, obviously the Trackhouse Carters had their issues on Sunday. Obviously Zilich and Chastain blew those brake rotors, and SVG was running a little bit different package and didn't, but it seems like their speed is a little bit better right now. Zilich was coming up through the field. Ross was all the way up to like 11th, 12th. He had a really good practice on Saturday. He was super excited about the race. So maybe they've turned the corner. Obviously, we know this is going to be temporary because these teams, when they find something, they fall off usually within a month or two. But I mean, if they can ride this wave until the chase and he makes it, that would be a huge win for SVG.
Well, while we're on the topic, Ross, I want to go ahead and just do this segment this week, and then we'll come back to our race. I want us to look at the point standings since we're officially halfway through, and I want to look around a little that bubble battle. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through probably 6 to 8 drivers real quick. We'll try to keep it, relatively short for each driver. But I want your opinion on if they're a lock for the chase, if they are panic mode and trouble, if they're out, or if they're kind of in that middle ground, what they need to do and how you feel like they're trending. All right.
Hmm?
So we're going to start right on the bat on our bubble driver. Austin Cindric with Team Penske is on the bubble. He's currently +2 to the cut line over Ryan Preece. What do we feel about Austin Cindric?
Not great. I mean, he's not outstanding anywhere. Penske is starting to struggle a little bit on speed. Even Blaney, one of our favorites for this weekend, was okay
Mm-hmm.
on Sunday, but not great. If I'm Cindric, I'm panicking a little bit. We need to find speed.
Yep. I think I'm right with you there. Guy, at least in my opinion, I'm not too worried about, but right under him, Ryan Preece had a couple rough weeks. He's -2 to the cut line. What do you think about Ryan Preece?
Ryan Preece is tricky. He's consistent, but when they have issues like they did yesterday, it makes it tough. But Ryan Preece has only two top tens this season. That is very surprising.
Huh. I would have thought it would
Uh,
have been more.
I would have thought it would have been more because he's always right there at the back half of the top 10. I worry about all the RFK cars getting enough stage points. They don't tend to run up front. They usually find finishes, but I think it's going to be tough for him. I really do. There's enough good cars behind him that I think he's going to have to worry a little bit.
So this next driver I had written off. I might still have written off, but he is showing a little bit of fight, and I'll give him that. -9 points, Joey Logano.
Oh, I'm gonna say he's not gonna make it. I don't think they're good enough. I don't think he's good enough with this car. I think Penske's struggling, and I heard Brad Keselowski make comments on Friday that nothing is gonna fix their performance to make them win again, and that he means all Fords until they get that
Oh
new
wow,
Ford nose in 27. So,
interesting.
um, that makes me think that this is gonna be an uphill battle for all the Fords,
Hmm.
and I think it's gonna be tough.
I have personally written off pretty much everyone below Joey Logano, but I'm just going to throw a couple names out, and you tell me if you think there's any heartbeat, any pulse on any of these guys. 19th, Michael McDowell. 20th, Zane Smith. 21st, Eric Jones. 22nd, AJ Allmendinger. 23rd, Ricky Stenhouse.
Uh, I won't. Obviously, McDowell's probably going to have two great races right in the middle there, and that
Hmm.
team is good with strategy. I mean, you can say what you want to about them. Travis Peterson's really good with strategy. that team can usually pull. I mean, they were running top 4 last night at one point just because of strategy.
Yep.
Uh, but I just don't think he's consistent enough. Zane, they're running fast all of a sudden. There could
Yep.
be something there. He can make up that ground. And the guy I'm actually looking at, I'm wearing his shirt right now, is
Uh-huh.
Eric Jones. All of a sudden, they
Okay.
have speed. He's been running good. He ran good at Dover. Obviously, he ran good before Dover for a couple weeks, and then he ran a really great race last night. I think he finished 11th. Not great,
Uh-huh.
but when about this time last year, that Legacy started turning the corner. They ran good during the summer, and I think he's close enough to the bubble he could make something happen. But it's still gonna be hard. I said that about Joey Logano, but like you said, that team's too big for him not to make it. So
Mhm.
he still might be the favorite out of all those
I
guys.
don't know, and now that you're saying that, I just think it's a little too late for those guys. McDowell on back, but hey, crazier things have happened. Speaking of which, so we're a couple of those guys are trending up. Let's go the other direction now. Currently in, but has slid. Wait, you know what, Ross? It's crazy to even think this has been the same season. Bubba Wallace was second in points for a long time at the beginning of this season. He is now 15th in points, only one spot above the cut line. Granted, he's got, I think it's about 33 ish, 33, 35 to the cut line. Is Toyota going to be his saving grace, or do you continue to see this downslide for Bubba?
Those cars are just too good for him to fall out, I feel like. I mean, we're talking about the same car that, Tyler Reddick is absolutely dominating the series with. But for whatever reason, man, they are just not hitting on it this season. And the thing is he's not even running top 10 most of the
Uh-huh.
race. I mean, he's outside of top 10. He's right at the back half, and he's just getting in that area of the track where all the crap happens. So
Yep.
I feel like eventually he'll turn it around, but I mean, we got 2 road courses where he's latter half top 10, back, 20s, and I don't know. I'm not super confident about him, but someone's got to make it. I can't just say everybody's not going to make it, and I feel
Yeah.
like he's going to make it.
Couple more here, and then we'll transition back to the race. Chase Briscoe, I think we're probably both in agreement that he's going to be just fine. I mean that he the amount of mistakes and stuff he's gotten caught up in this year, and to still only be 14th in points, I feel like he could be fifth in points if he just finished where he was running half the time, right?
His
And he,
cars are too good for him to be
yeah.
14th right now. Let's be honest.
Brad Keselowski in 13th.
I worry about Brad. All of a sudden, they just don't have a ton of speed. Like I said with Priest, like all of a sudden they're just kind of struggling with running up front. I mean, Brad started out
Uh-huh.
the season really strong. So did Priest and Busher, obviously, but I'm a little worried. I am. I feel like they're on a little bit of a downswing right now.
We talked about SVG. I think we both feel pretty confident about him right now. The last two I'll go over. William Byron is 11th in points. I can't remember the last time I've seen William outside of the top 10. Um, just has not had a lot of speed. I was shocked at Charlotte. He looked awful at Charlotte. Um, Still rallied back for a top 10 somehow. And then last night he just didn't look great either, and then ends up getting caught up in the wreck. Um, I mean, surely he won't fall out of the chase though, right?
No, he's too good. I mean, the team's too good. I mean, they'll find a way to point. William is really good about points racing, but he has just had some awful luck this year.
Yeah.
And like you said, he's been slow. He's been not non-Hendrick like this year.
Yep.
And
And
I was going to
then
ask you, do
yeah,
we think he's going to win a race this year?
William,
I mean, there's a lot of guys I'm looking at, and I'm thinking, are they even going to win a race this year?
I've
And
got to
Williams
say
is one of them.
yes. I mean, I feel like if you're in Hendrick equipment, and I know it's been off, but like some of these guys are so good, like you've got to fall into one eventually, right? Whether it's a strategy
Hmm.
call, a fuel race, something. I mean, look at Zane Smith last night was really close. I mean, I'm gonna say he still finds a way to win. I can't imagine him going winless this year. Same for
I
Larson
can't
at this
either.
point.
Yeah, the streak by Larson. At least Larson's running up front, right?
Yeah.
He's going to fall into one sooner than later. I mean, Byron is not running up front, so
Byron
I
and
don't.
Larson are kind of opposite right now. I feel like Larson's got decent speed. He just can't get the results. And then Byron doesn't have great speed, but he manages to pull results out of nowhere. So,
Hmm.
um,
Yep. Hmm.
last one, and obviously the win last week did wonders for this guy, but Daniel Suarez, 10th in points. Um, I feel like he's kind of in that category right now of like just don't do anything crazy, like just play par golf and finish races, get stage points where you can, and I think he's in a good spot too right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. He's what, plus 70, plus 80, somewhere in that range.
Uh-huh.
But God, he's slow. Their cars are. I mean, he is not. I don't know how he keeps getting these finishes. I really don't. I mean, he did finish 19th, but he won a stage on Sunday. But he was
Yep.
slow. He was awful. I mean, as soon as the green flag came out, we
He
were talking about
dropped.
SVG. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I mean, we were talking about SVG holding track position. Well, Suarez started third and couldn't hold nothing.
Yep.
I want to say he was out of the top 10 by like lap 30. So yeah, I don't know if there's someone that I could see falling out. It's him. I mean, out of anybody in the top 16 I'm looking at right now, he's the guy
Uh,
I can see falling completely out. Just my opinion.
yeah. I
Is
mean, I still think the Cindric one is probably in bigger danger, obviously being on the bubble, but yeah, I don't know. I think this will be fun to keep up with. Obviously, can I just say I'm loving the chase already, the points format, and being able to have these kind of discussions at this point in the year instead of the locked in, the Daniel Suarez locked in and everything like that. I
Mhm.
mean, he's still got to perform to make it, right? So, um,
And you know
versus
what's
like,
funny? You know what's funny is no one outside the top 12 has won a race. So it's kind of like
okay,
it's kind
yeah,
of fixed itself because we don't
yeah,
have all the stupidness happening, you know.
that's
We're
true.
not having these races fall into chaos quite as
No,
much.
no guy in P34 winning a race right now. So
As of yet, I mean, it
yeah.
is coming to the summer stretch
Connor
where stuff
Zillich
can get
will
weird.
probably, yeah, Connor Zillich could potentially pull one out somewhere,
Oh yeah,
road
absolutely. Yeah.
course.
hmm
Well, we'll keep an eye on that, Ross. I think that'll be fun to keep up with, and we'll start really writing guys off and seeing who can make a late charge. Ross, I want to get your opinion on Austin Dillon versus Brad Keselowski. There was a lot made of that. Um, Austin Dillon, great save by the way. Got in trouble, and this race was the most natural cautions we've had this season. Um, I don't know if it was just the late night racing, the waiting around for weather 2 weeks in a row, just everyone kind of antsy. It did seem like restarts were super important, and the aggression level kind of kept getting turned up. We had a lot of issues with brake rotors, which was something we haven't really seen this season. But anyway, it looked like I'm trying to remember exactly what happened. Was it? I think this was the situation where um, Noah got booted, if I remember. Was
No.
it
Yep.
or Stenhouse
No.
booted?
hmm
Was that the first one when Austin went
Yep.
spinning? Okay.
Yeah. Stenhouse
So,
got booted, but it wasn't. Brad didn't really have anything to do with it, and
yeah. It was
uh,
just kind of a weird situation because they got checked up and Austin didn't lift. I mean, he just tried to carry his momentum and kind of swerve through a bunch of those guys who were checking up, and then kind of got cross. It was kind of a weird point in the track where it kind of transitions to the
yeah,
apron
yeah.
there, and I didn't really make anything of it. Ended up getting turned. Did a hell of a job and saved the car. I mean, I thought he was gonna, kill the outside wall and managed to save it. And I guess they, I don't know if they were upset or not. I really didn't hear a whole lot from that. But then, a little bit later, we had an incident between Austin Cindric and who else got involved in that one
Oh
on the
gosh,
front stretch? Do you remember?
Austin Cindric, obviously Brad, and
I can't remember who. There was someone else that got turned
oh,
because
No, that was the first one. Yeah. So in the first wreck, it wasn't even Brad that wrecked him. It was Busher. That's why I
yeah,
was. I mean,
uh-huh,
obviously it wasn't on purpose. And
yeah,
I mean, Prime is so good. They would have told us if Dylan was pissed off. We would have heard radio
yeah,
about it, and we never
yeah.
did. So
Well, anyway, so that next wreck with Cindric and whoever, I can't remember exactly who else was in it. Maybe it was Todd Gillen or something.
hmm
But yeah, so Austin punts Brad, and everyone was acting like this was this payback. TJ Majors came on the radio and said, well, that's he got you as payback or whatever, and um, the Prime guys did a good job of breaking it down. Even Dale Jr. We rode on board with Austin. You could actually hear him come out of the throttle and lifted. So um, I don't know if he did do it on purpose. That was a master class of getting somebody without showing your hand.
Yeah.
I don't make too much of it. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought it was a big nothing to do about it. I mean, I don't understand why it would invoke that type of reaction from TJ. I mean,
Hmm.
if anything, you're just riling your driver up for no fucking
Yeah.
reason.
Hmm.
Um, and I don't know, there's no reason. Now they did have a history. I want to say it was those two at Michigan coming to the
Hmm.
end of the stage one
And at New
time.
Hampshire, they were
Oh,
slamming
and
doors at New Hampshire too.
you're right. And I want to
Yep.
say Brad right hooked Austin or
Think
vice
so.
versa.
Yeah. I
Someone
can't
right
remember.
hooked someone at
Yeah.
Michigan, and then obviously the New Hampshire thing. So
Oh,
they
it
do
was.
have
Yeah. I think.
history.
Yeah.
They do
Yeah.
have
I
history,
don't.
but I
It,
just don't think this was that.
I almost think. I almost tend to think that it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to go down here and here's my chance to KO him, but it could have been like, I'm not going to get on my break as soon as I could type of thing. You know what I mean? But I don't
Hmm.
know. It's hard to tell. Race car drivers are a category of their own. So I don't know. In that situation, I don't know if I'm thinking about, you know, this is my chance to get him. I would be more concerned of not wrecking myself and damaging my own car. But I don't know. That's why I'm not a
Yeah.
race car driver. So
Yeah. I mean, I just don't think it was a big deal. I mean, they tried. Obviously, Prom was trying to cover it, but I think Dale Jr. was right. I mean, it's just
uh
TJ stirring up a bunch of shit for no reason.
huh.
So
For the clicks, right?
yeah,
So,
for the clicks. Yep.
but
Hmm.
man, a lot of really aggressive racing. There was a lot of comers and goers, different strategies that played out. We've got to talk about our boy Zane Smith. We called this, Ross. I'm gonna stand on business here for both of us. We've been singing his praises all week. We battled for him for our pick. Fortunately, I got him since I was the first to pick, and he delivered. He absolutely delivered, and he was that close to really doing something special. If the caution doesn't come out, I think he gets a top five still.
Oh yeah, I think so too. I think he was sitting pretty there. I don't think because I want to say fifth place or sixth place was like over
Hmm.
15 seconds back. They were way back. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously the Toyotas were fast as shit, and everybody else was
Uh-huh.
like way back. But yeah, great drive by him. Great car. The only thing I wish they maybe have done there at the end was take four tires. They had such an advantage getting on pit
Yeah.
road, such an advantage. They had plenty of time. I mean, you saw them in the pit stall, like just waiting for fuel or something, or taking their time. I mean, they had enough advantage to take four right there, and they
Yeah,
might
there
have.
was only a handful of cars that came down pit road, so I was a little surprised why they took two there. I don't know if it was something about the fire off or maybe handled slightly better on two. I have no idea, but that was a little surprising to me that they opted to not take four.
And I mean, it could just be a situation where they're not in that situation very often. So, I mean, they just made a quick call, which was two
Mhm.
tires, which is better than none. And he obviously didn't fire off, but I want to say Stenhouse took four, and he got up to
He
fourth.
did.
So,
Yep. Yep.
yeah, I mean, there
Man,
was
yeah,
a definitely
what could have
advantage.
been maybe. Could have been a top 5 there, but
Yeah. Hmm.
they you just said it, Ross, when we were going over uh the bubble there, but he's up to 20th in points and they seem to have found a little bit of speed now. So man, if he can start clicking off, some top 15, top 10s, get some stage points, never know,
Yeah.
man, with a little bit of trouble from guys in front of him. So I had heard, I don't know how true this is, but I had seen somewhere on social media that apparently he's going to be a free agent after next year. Is that right? You heard
Yeah,
anything
after
about that?
27, according to
Yeah.
I listened to the teardown last night, well, this morning, and Jordan Bianchi said he's getting interest already for 27. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, it'll be interesting. I wonder. I, I mean, I don't think I wonder. I mean, Trackhouse obviously made the right decision, but he was firmly in the Trackhouse hands and got
Uh-huh.
lucky and got to the FRM. So
I was
I
going to
do
say
wonder what.
kind of a blessing in disguise for him getting out of there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, and I mean, I don't. If you were offered FRM or Trackhouse in 27, who would you take?
Probably FRM in 27. I mean, I feel like Trackhouse has got to turn it around eventually, right? I mean,
I
I
don't
don't
know. I mean,
know.
they're the old chip. I mean, they're very reminiscent of Chip Ganassi, like good one year, bad the next, good one
Uh-huh.
week, bad the next. There's just it's the same thing what you see with RCR. There's no consistency. It's like there's little gains. They get to a point, and then it just like they slowly lose it, and it's just like
Uh-huh.
it's just tough. I do wonder what kind of team would take him. I think he'll have interest from like RFK and places like that.
Yeah.
So I think Zane will have a good ride lined up in a couple of years.
Yeah, I agree. I've been a Zane fan for a while. I think he gets the most out of his equipment and does a pretty good job overall. So,
Hmm.
man, he was close. It was fun to see it. Had an opportunity to get a really good result. I did not think initially Bell was going to be able to get him, but once you started seeing the speed difference after he pitted, it was unbelievable. I mean, that's probably the most time delta that I've seen in this car, honestly, that you can make up on the new versus old tires. It just I don't know. I feel like in races past, like it was like maybe a second of fall off, like wasn't a
Hmm.
ton, but like I mean he was getting them probably between a second and a half a lap. So that was cool. I think Goodyear's done a good job with the tires recently. So we're slowly kind of getting back to where we were. I don't know if we'll ever truly get back to where we were, but it was fun to watch. And of course, this all crescendoed to the big JGR battle at the end. Man, that was entertaining, fun to watch. What were your thoughts?
Fuck Chase Briscoe. That's my main part. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I just don't like Chase Briscoe. I hate any battle he's involved in. He
I've got to
just,
say something real quick too. My mom likes Chase Briscoe, but
oh my God.
my mom pits these drivers because she lets their personalities and she lets following them off the racetrack and stuff. So I was trying to explain to her, at least this is my take. I'm not going to speak for you, but I don't mind Chase Briscoe as a person at all. I think he seems
No,
like a really
absolutely
good
not.
dude.
Hmm.
But we're just critiquing his driving and some of his decisions on track, mom. So just wanted to clarify that first.
Yeah, and his teammates seem to hate him. Like, I don't know if you caught Radioactive, which we made a guest appearance in. Thank you, Rob, for showing us that.
Oh yeah.
But Ty Gibbs was like uh pissed off at him because he's just like, why does he race me like that? Like it's that kind of
Mhm.
shit. And I feel like that sentiment is throughout the whole JGR camp, and I feel bad for Bell because him and Bell are like buddies, man. Like Bell got him was like one of the reasons he's there,
Huh.
and he didn't make his life any easier taking it 3 right there. Basically ruined the battle between him and Denny. But hell, what a battle between 3 Toyotas
I can't
going
blame
for the
him though.
win.
I mean, dude, it's white flag and you got to run. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
are
Yeah,
you
you're
are you
right.
going to push a teammate in that perspective in that situation?
No, probably not. I'm probably not.
Yeah.
But I'd probably do a little bit different. I'd probably like push Bell and then try to finagle myself down to get low and
Yeah, I was
maybe
going to
take him
say
3
I'm
low.
curious. I'm curious if he did push Bell. If B- I'm sure Bell would have probably cleared Denny. I wonder if Chase would have had enough momentum where they both could have cleared Denny and then they could have battled it in the last corner. Um,
Yeah.
it's all hindsight, but I do feel bad for Bell. I like to see Bell a lot. I really do.
Mhm.
And man, he was pretty tore up after the race. He was really hard on himself and in the post race interview. You have to go back and watch it, Ross, but he owned it though, man. He was like, I have nothing to blame. I had the fastest car on the racetrack and I didn't win. So I heard him say repeatedly before the race and after the race, he's like, we're either going to go win next week or the week after that or the week after that. So like you know, he's zoned in and I'm sure that is tough though. I mean, watching Denny and Reddick and these Toyotas and you're just as good and haven't been able to get it done yet. So I'm sure that it does kind of eat away at you a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, he just has terrible luck. I mean, there's no other way to say it. He's got bad luck, and I mean, he's been close to winning quite a few races this
Oh yeah.
season, and I think it's a safe, like he said, I think it's a safe bet. A JGR car is gonna win the next 2 weeks at least.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't think he has. I don't
Cute,
think a
cute Chase
Pocono.
Briscoe and Pocono saving fuel again. Hate
Yeah,
to
yeah,
lap.
pretty much. Yeah, and I don't think Bell will win Pocono, but I think there's a really good chance he wins at Michigan. Now he's had terrible luck at Michigan lately, so
Uh-huh.
that's iffy if he wins it. But if there's a place I see him winning, it's next week.
Yep. Well, it's been fun, and I'm intrigued as much as I'm frustrated watching these Toyotas running away. Being I'm a Hendrick fan and a Larson fan, I do want to see a little bit of diversity, I guess, between manufacturers competing, but it is kind of fun to watch where all these guys are so close. I think back to stage 3 at Charlotte, where all these JGR cars and Tyler Reddick are running under a blanket, and we kind of saw that same thing last night at the end. I thought that was perfect kind of metaphor for where everyone's at right there. They're all so good right now, and they're just racing the crap out of each other. So, and maybe that's a little bit. I'll give Briscoe a little bit of a pass, I guess, with how hard he races his teammates, just because those are the guys you got to beat and trying to stay in front. But it's just different points of the race where I don't know. Like I said, I'm not in the seat, so maybe I would feel differently if I was in the seat, knowing how important it is to establish track position and whatnot. But it does seem like you can have a little bit more give and take, and then maybe try to make a late charge at the end or something. But it is going to be fun watching these Toyotas kind of duke each other out in the next couple weeks, and with how good they are too, man. I'm honestly surprised it didn't happen last night, but I'm here for the drama too, man. I want to see one of these guys slip up a little bit and fence one of them and get a little strife going in the camp or something. I mean, that I think the only thing that could bring them back to Chevrolet or something is maybe something like that, where they start racing each other so hard and getting into each other or wrecking each other. I mean, I think it
Hmm.
could happen.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one to do it, it's Briscoe. He'll be the
Yep.
one that does. Oh, and also in that radioactive, he said, "Oh, I'm going to put air on his bumper because he was air blocking him so
Oh yeah.
bad," and
Yeah.
he drove him right up the track. So yeah, yeah. I mean, I think they're all a little frustrated with Briscoe, but yeah,
Uh-huh.
like you said, I'd love to see some strife. I'd love to see some drama. This is when we need Kyle Busch back right
I
now.
know.
So yeah. Which
Can
I'm
you
going to hit on
imagine
real quick.
could you
Yeah.
imagine Kyle Busch in that camp running with all those guys right now too?
Oh,
That'd be
he'd probably want to. He'd kill Briscoe. I mean,
Oh,
like he'd
yeah.
probably run up and punch him. I mean, he
Right.
wouldn't deal with that very well.
No.
I always felt like Kyle and Denny and Bell. Well, Kyle and Denny did not play well together very well,
No.
but Kyle and Bell did pretty well. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It's just this week really reminded me that Kyle Busch isn't there anymore. You kept seeing like
Mhm.
snippets of where highlights of stuff from where Kyle was there like two years ago. And I don't know, it just hit me hard last night. I was like, damn, he's just not here anymore. And that's just
Yeah.
yeah,
It
that was
feels
tough. I
so
don't know.
weird, man. It's just like a hole. It really is. It's just a void.
I
And,
mean, we've watched NASCAR. You're 32, I'm 35 or 31. You're 31, I don't remember.
31,
But
yeah. I'll be 32 this year.
I mean, you just think about it. Kyle's been a big part of our lives since I was 2000. I remember hearing about him the first time when me and my dad were going to a race at Bowman Gray, and Kyle was making a start in the truck series when he was like 16 at like Gateway, and he
Uh-huh.
was going to win the race, and then he ran out of fuel, and it was
Oh,
his
wow.
first start or second start ever. My dad was like, "This kid's going to be good," and I was like, "Oh, okay, whatever." So I mean, he's been in our lives since I was like 12.
Yep.
And you were like 8, and then he's just
Mhm.
gone, and he's
I know.
dominated the whole. Sorry to get in a Kyle tangent right now, but
No,
he's just
go for it.
dominated everything, and then I don't know. I was looking for his radio at one point last night.
Mhm.
It's just stuff like that. And I don't guess I really felt that when I was at Charlotte because we were there, we were all together. But last night when I was just sitting here by myself, I was like, man, this sucks, because I was a Kyle fan a little bit,
Mhm.
especially there at the end,
Yep.
and just feels weird without him. That's all I was gonna say.
I think for me, it actually hit me more, believe it or not, on Friday night, and I think it's just because of how much he truly loved the Truck Series and how much he loved being in the Truck Series, and I know they extended the amount of starts that Cup guys could do this year, and I think we talked a little bit about where he was politicking, trying to get the over 40 rule passed and everything, and so it was a little weird for me, and it was Friday night because I was like, man, this just would be a Kyle Busch kind of night. You know, you got Lane Riggs and these other, you know, quick guys, and I was like, man, and Raja, and it's like how cool would it have been to see KFB mixing it up with him, because you know he would have been right. So that's where it first hit me. Um, for the cup stuff, I don't think I've quite had that moment yet that you have. And I think it's only because, and I mean with this with all due respect in the world, but obviously with his performance dropping off, going over to RCR,
Mhm.
um, you're not, at least you're not used to seeing him up front for cup, right? The last couple years, right? So I think that kind of distracts you a little bit from it, just because it's not like it was straight out of the JGR days, right, where he was competing, and I think
Yeah.
that's probably why it hit me more Friday, because it's like you're just used to seeing him up front and competing, and it's like, where's Kyle at? So, it I don't truly think it's hit me yet fully on the cup side yet, but I know it will. I think I was just in shock in Charlotte like everybody else, and I did feel it a little bit last night, but I think I was also just so focused on different parts of the race that I didn't really allow myself to go there, if that made sense. So, yeah, but either way, we're obviously
I
gonna miss them.
just I just hate sometimes how fast the world moves. Like, I'm not saying that nobody talked about him or nothing like that
Mhm,
last night. That's not what I mean, but it's just like it was kind of like an afterthought. And we're talking about
mhm.
less than 12 days ago or 13 days ago. He'd
Oh,
last
yeah.
won like 16 days ago.
Mhm.
I mean, it's just you know, you just hate to see that, I guess. And if I could make one ask of NASCAR is, can we just honor this man on lap 18 instead of lap 8? Kyle
Amen.
Busch is the 18. No offense to Bobby Labonte. No offense to Dale Jarrett or whoever else drove that car. But
Mhm.
Kyle Busch is the 18. He was that guy, and I just don't want to remember Kyle as the guy in the 8 because it was just he had a few good, you know, one good season, but that's just not him, man.
Yep.
Rowdy was the 18 car, so I don't
I'm
know.
wi
Can we
I'm
change
with you
that to
there.
lap 18, and can we get that JGR 18 up there because that's how I want to remember Kyle.
Yep. I completely agree. I had a conversation, with someone about this the other day too, and it was just talking about, like, the black 8 hats, and they were saying they wanted to get one, and I was like, "Man, I'd like to get one." Like, I like the hat I was wearing last week where it has his name on it and everything, but, it just doesn't feel right to me wearing the 8, and, my dad was a big Kyle Busch fan. I forgot to get it last night, but he said he had a couple 18 hats, and he would let me have one, so, yeah,
Well,
I wanted.
it's like if Dale Earnhardt, like when Dale Earnhardt died, if we were wearing the 2 hat from
Yep.
when he was with Roy
Oh,
Osterlund. I
yeah.
mean, it just doesn't
That's a
make any
great
sense.
comparison, Ross. Yep. It sure
I
is.
mean, it's just like that's not who we remember him as. We remember him as the 3,
Or
and I
almost
think the
like
same
when
thing with the
remember when
Kyle.
Jeff Gordon came and subbed in the '88? It'd be like wearing
Yeah.
the '88 since that was the last car he was in, type of thing. Like, you know
Mhm.
Jeff
Yep.
Gordon's for 24, right? So,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, people don't remember Bobby Labonte, the 18, that's how you think of him.
yeah.
Like, they don't remember him for the 96 or the 43 or the cars he drove after that. I mean, it's the 18, and, I mean, that's how I think of Kyle, so
Yep.
I don't know. That's just my opinion.
I'm with you. Ross, I do have to get something off my chest. We've talked about this a couple times, and it really, really just got me last night. Can we please, 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 NASCAR, I beg you, Steve O'Donnell, I beg you, can we please get rid of fucking stage cautions? Award them the points and keep on digging. Ross, it happened a couple times. I think it was the end of stage one where I was really frustrated. Caution came out with, oh, and by the way, I'm going to say it again. We pace way too fucking much. Why are we
Mhm.
pacing 8 to 10 laps every single caution? It does not take that long to get everyone bunched up, open up pit road, do your stops, and then one more lap, and then let's go racing. It should be 3 to 4 laps, right? Um, I don't know, man. It just seems, and I know I'm not crazy because I've seen other people complain about it, and I was on the onboard with Kyle Larson last night, and I think it was during stage 2, and he's like, "Dude, come on." He's like, "What are we doing?" Like, it's like the drivers are starting to see it more too. But between the pacing forever, and then it's like we pace, and then we're gonna go green, and then another caution happens, and we're gonna pace, and then oh, here's a 2-lap shootout for the stage and caution stage. And it's like, okay, here's another 15-minute break. Dude, when I
Mhm.
tell you, I left my parents' house. My parents live 20, 25 minutes away from my house. When caution came out in stage one with 20 to go, told my parents bye, gave them a hug, got my stuff, got my truck, got in the truck, and I said, I want to go ahead and leave because I want to be home, before stage two starts. Ross, I got home before we had our shootout at the end of stage one. That's how long it took. With 20 laps to go, I think we had 2 cautions in between that and then the stage. I mean, dude, I don't know, man. Like, I don't want to just sound like a boomer and complaining all the time about everything, but I know some people will complain because maybe with this car, we might not see like any cautions, right? After that,
Yeah.
except for last night, right? So, but to me, like, I'd rather have that and complain about how we didn't get any cautions and it was just a long race, right? But I don't know, man. I feel like that needs to be our next step. And I know we've brought this up a couple times, but it's just bothering me.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. That was a 400 lap race at Nashville, and it took 3 hours and 45 minutes, not to mention the late start. And it's just like, what are we doing? Like, we know that consumers don't watch sports as much anymore. A lot of it due to the time invested, how long it takes. And NASCAR just makes this problem worse and worse every year. The cautions have literally, I mean, we're in 2026 and we consistently get slower and slower with our cautions. I don't understand how that's possible. For instance, last night with 12 to go, Chris Buescher blew the brake rotor, a caution came out. We paced until 8 to go. We paced 4.5 laps for them to clean that up to open pit road. Why the fuck
Mm-hmm.
do we need to wait that long to open pit road? You can
You
open
don't.
pit road while you're cleaning that stuff up.
That's right.
Not to mention when we go green with 5 to go or 4 to go or 5 to go, I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Larson still runs over a rotor that they left on the
Yeah.
track.
Yep.
Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, how is
Yep.
that even possible? Like,
Yep.
y'all are taking this amount of time to clean it up,
And you
and
still
then
can't even clean it up right.
you still can't even clean it up right. How are we doing this? And yeah, it's frustrating. It takes you out of the race a lot. The stages,
Mm-hmm.
it's so miserable when you see a caution come out with like 6 or 7 or 8 to go in a stage because you know
I get
one of
this
two
pit in my
things.
stomach where it's just like this like anger, annoyance, like I'm gonna go get a snack and chill for 25 minutes because it's like I know it's gonna take that long to tune back in.
Yeah, and you know it's going to be a good 20 to 30 minutes before either they pace it out till the next stage or they just
Uh-huh.
go green for 1 lap. They do 7 laps of
Yep.
pacing to do a 1 lap shootout where half the field pits and the other half doesn't. And then
Mhm.
it's just they try to make it like it's super exciting. Like, I'm sorry, like I don't care that AJ Allmendinger won stage 1. I mean, who cares? I mean, he's not really in it in points wise. I mean, he's so far out. Um a great run by AJ, by the way, till he broke his brake rotor,
Yep.
but it is frustrating. I just hate this manufactured shit that we have to watch for, the end of the stages to make it like this it's this big old thing. And the whole reason that they supposedly did it, besides the commercials, was for betting purposes. Well, half the
Mm,
time you can't even hardly bet on stage one bets anymore. They've pretty much taken that away because I guess they got their shit ate up from that. So
mm.
I don't know. It's just frustrating to me.
Yeah. Yep, I understand. I feel the same way, man. And that's really my biggest complaint right now. If we could just get rid of that and just award the points, and I don't know, maybe we'll have a shot to do something like that next season. But I love the chase. I love that we've made a lot of positive strides. So I don't want to be too much of a Debbie Downer, but I am still going to speak my mind. And yeah, I want to continue seeing us push forward and have great racing. So, and I know it's always the mix of competition versus entertainment, right? So the manufactured cautions line it up more restarts, more opportunities for stuff to happen, and I don't know. I just feel like maybe there's a balance there. Maybe it's even, you don't even have to go all the way. Maybe you just do like one stage caution, like, at the end of stage 2, maybe that's the caution, or I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know. I would like to see none of them, but maybe there's a compromise somewhere. I don't know.
I would just like the cars to be hard enough to drive where there's natural cautions anyway, which
Yeah,
we saw at
yeah,
Dover, we saw at Charlotte, and we saw at, Nashville. I mean,
yeah,
the higher horsepower, as much as we heard that it wouldn't make a much difference, it has made a little bit of difference on those types of
mhm,
tracks. So that's been nice.
yep. Well, we are going a little long, but that's okay because we had a lot to cover this week. Ross, any other final storylines before we go over our picks?
Oh gosh, nothing I can think of. Just bad week for bubble drivers. They really struggled. I swear, everybody on the bubble had problems. But other than that, no, Nashville got a lot of hate when they brought it back because I remember in the 2000s it just being just a terrible track, no one could pass. And the last 5 years they've been there, I've enjoyed most of the races. I'll be honest. I've enjoyed the track. It seems like when they can make that top groove work, it's a lot of fun. Which I think would have been better yesterday if it was ran during the daytime, but still enjoyable weekend of racing. All three series were pretty cool. So
Yep.
no complaints. Too bad this week.
All right. Well, with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to you for our picks and our standings.
Hey, congratulations, Josh. You have won again with your pick of Zane Smith.
Woo!
I don't even know where Noah finished. Oh, Noah finished 16th, so he did not have a
He had a
bad
good
day.
run. He had a good
Yeah,
run. If
he
something would
had a
have
pretty
happened, man, he would have been right there.
yeah, all three FRM cars top 20. So shout out to FRM. So you won again, so I get to pick first for Michigan.
Okay.
Um, and so, I think the easy pick here would probably be just I'm just gonna go for it. Toyota. I'm just gonna take Chase Briscoe.
Okay.
Oh shit, that's your pick. Hold on. Yeah, I have Chase Briscoe available. Go ahead. I'm
Okay.
taking Chase Briscoe.
All right. Give me just a second. Gonna do a little research here. I
I'll play
may
the
punt.
Jeopardy thing.
I may punt. What's that?
I'll just play the Jeopardy. Oh, Mark Martin just liked my tweet. How about that?
Shout out, Mark.
Shout out Mark Martin. Thank you, Mark Martin. I appreciate it. It was the actual Mark Martin. How about that?
The Mark Martin. Maybe we can get him. Man, we should try to get him on as a guest, dude. How cool would that be? I feel like he would do it too.
We'll just make it the Mark Martin podcast. I mean, that's fine.
Just turn it
My
over,
my
man.
tweet was in relation to Jeff Gluck's good race poll.
Uh
I said it was a good race. It was just too late for my old ass because I was struggling today, and 12:30 is just a little late to be in a race on a Sunday. Anyway, go
I
ahead.
feel you there. Oh man, I think I'm gonna punt Ross. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna have to throw out a heavy hitter if I want to compete with Chase Briscoe. So I'm gonna maybe hope that Chase Briscoe just steps on himself, and I'm gonna go with the General Cole Custer this week.
Oh God, that is a punt, isn't it?
Yep,
That's more than a punt. That's
I'm punting. Hey,
that's a turnover on downs. That's like
it might be a pick six.
that's a pick six. Yeah, that's
But
bad.
hey, you know what? Cole will randomly surprise you. Um, he will pull out a random top 20 sometimes, and with these big, fast drafting tracks, I can see Briscoe getting in trouble. So if I can take down Briscoe with Cole Custer, we're gonna go for it. So we're with the General this week, General
With
Custer.
the general.
Yep,
I would love to see Cole do good. I enjoy Cole. You know, call me old fashioned, but
he's
I
good at
think
these
he's
strats too. Sneakily, I'm telling you, like he
yeah.
won. He won Auto Club with SS Greenlight, which I think
Mm-hmm.
maybe was technically like a Haas car, but
But still, yeah, he
um,
won it. Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. I got a gut feeling he could have a good run this week. So
Yeah, he has 3 straight top 21 finishes,
I'll,
so
I'll
he's
be
hot.
honest. I was between Cole Custer and Alex Bowman, because I could see Bowman kind of sneaking something out as well potentially. But yeah, I don't know. Cole's name's just jumping off the page to me for some reason, so I'm gonna go with my gut.
I don't blame you. I think Bowman's a little bit of a void until he starts running better because he's
Yep.
just not running good right now.
Did you
So
catch that, by the way? I don't know how much you watched the pre-race, but they asked him if he was 100%, and he was just like, didn't really answer it. He was like, he basically said, I'm as good as I'm going to get. I thought that was kind of
dang.
interesting. Yeah.
Well, does that
So
mean he still has vertigo? I guess a little
I
bit.
don't, I don't know, maybe some symptoms a little bit here and there. He kind of opened up a little bit more about it. He said it kind of stemmed from his back and his like a spine injury or something.
Oh
Um,
gosh.
so I don't
Wow.
know, man. I still think this might be Bowman's last season. I would be really surprised if he came back unless Ally just really wants him back. But
Well, I'm surprised. I'm surprised he got 10 years out of him anyway.
uh
Obviously they really like him there, and
yeah,
he did good there for a little bit, but he's definitely been a struggle the last few years. Just can't
yeah,
stay healthy, and that's tough in NASCAR.
absolutely. Ross, any final thoughts?
None that I can think of. Just looking forward to. Actually, I'm not looking forward to Michigan. I don't really like Michigan races.
Oh, it's gonna be great. I like
Oh man,
Michigan.
I don't know. You do well. I liked old Michigan. I don't like new
Yeah,
Michigan as much
there's been
after the
some good
repavement.
races. Keep an eye on
I hope
Reddick too, man. I think it's gonna be the Reddick versus Denny show. Is gonna be my guess. Kind of a
Reddick
sneak
has been
peek.
really good at Michigan. Yep, and Denny's been really good at Michigan. So yeah, sounds par for the course for the year. So I'd
Yep.
say you're probably right.
I know I'm really
Probably
going out
right.
on a limb there, but um, yeah, we'll see. So, well, Ross enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed another episode of the Burn It Down podcast. Great racing at Nashville overall. Got some fun momentum, and we're heading into race number 3 for Prime at Michigan this weekend. Guys, we say it every week. Get ready for another episode of the Betcast. Ross and I will talk about our picks from Nashville. I think we both went 3 for 5, so we'll dissect that a little bit, do a little betting recap, and then we'll throw out all our ideas. Hopefully, make you some money at Michigan. So, thank you guys as always for tuning in. It's been awesome. I can't believe we're pretty much halfway through the regular season at this point. So it's been a fun time doing the show with you, Ross, and hopefully everyone out there is enjoying it, and we'll keep it rolling.
Sounds good. See you guys.
See ya.